To call to order the regular meeting of the board, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
Okay, so we'll get started with the adoption of the agenda. It is recommended that the agenda of the February 16th, 2023 regular meeting of the Board of School Trustees be approved as presented.
Motion. Second.
All in favor? Motion carried. Approval of minutes. It is recommended that the minutes of the January 12th, 2023 regular meeting of the Board of School Trustees be approved as presented.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carried. Statements or questions from the public? Okay. Administrative recommendations, claims. It is recommended that prepaid and January claims numbered 4969 through 5084 and 22242 through 22257 be approved as presented.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carried. Personnel. It is recommended that Elizabeth Walters be hired as an instructional aide at Southeast Fountain Elementary School.
Elizabeth is a Covington graduate, and she's interested in early childhood education and comes with a lot of experience in daycare and babysitting settings. So she's excited to be in our special education department.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carried. Administrative contract. It is recommended that the contract for Dr. Tanya Grimes, including salary and benefits as superintendent of Southeast Fountain School Corporation, be approved as presented.
Motion. Second.
All those in favor? Motion carried. Outstanding checklist. A motion was made that the outstanding checklist be approved as presented.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carried. Quotes. It is recommended that the quote from Red 8 in the amount of $200,000 be approved to purchase 500 Chromebooks.
This is a purchase from the grant that you approved last month, that Quinn and our grant assistant writer from AdTech helped us achieve. So we got the grant, you approved it, and now we're spending it on what we requested the grant for.
Motion. Second.
All those in favor? Motion carried. Fundraisers. It is recommended that the Art Club fundraiser be approved for face painting at home basketball games.
The Art Club is hoping to, their goal is to raise $100 or more for supplies for the Art Club.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carried. It is recommended that the Lift-a-thon fundraiser be approved for the Fountain Central football team.
Mr. King and the football team are hoping to raise $5,000 to $10,000 for football equipment, including helmets, shoulder pads, and other safety equipment.
Motion. Second.
All those in favor? Motion carried. It is recommended that the Century Resources fundraiser be approved for the Fountain Central Music Department.
The music department will be selling things such as cookie dough, cheese and sausage. Their goal is to raise $500 per ensemble to pay for student supplies, including reeds, instrument cleaning, mouthpieces, etc.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carried. It is recommended that the Fountain Central After Prom fundraisers be approved as presented.
The goal is to raise $15,000 through food sales and raffles for the Fountain Central After Prom, all of the great things that they do for our kids that night.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carried. It is recommended that the fan apparel fundraiser be approved for the Fountain Central softball team.
The goal of the softball team is to raise $1,000 to support some of the team needs.
Motion. Second.
All those in favor? Motion carried. It is recommended that the alumni game be approved as a fundraiser for the Fountain Central softball team.
This would be the second year of this alumni softball game. The goal is to raise $1,000 to support the softball program.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carried. It is recommended that the SEF Student Council be allowed to sell hanging ferns as a fundraiser.
The goal of the student council is to raise $1,500 selling 10 and 12-inch hanging baskets, Boston ferns, to raise money for the student council to help pay for events in the school, teacher meals, Red Ribbon Week, and Teacher Appreciation Week.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carried. It is recommended that the Art to Remember fundraiser be approved for the SEFE Art Department.
Their fundraising goal is $1,500 selling artwork done by a child to buy art supplies and equipment.
Motion. Second.
All those in favor? Motion carried. On to other business. It is recommended that the contract with Aramark Services be continued for the 2023-2024 school year.
We have a multi-year contract with Aramark. Next year, the 2023-24 school year will be the end of this current contract. However, each year, the State Department requires that we review that and make sure we want to continue with them. And I would like to.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carried. Elementary report.
One for each of you there. So this week, along with our second and third grade teachers, we hosted a family evening for second and third grade families. As this year, just as in years past, our third grade will take the IRE3 assessment, which grades their reading proficiency as they go on to fourth grade. Last year, the Indiana Department of Education piloted an early opt-in form for second grade students to take the assessment as well. So this year, we completed the opt-in form, and our second graders will be participating in that same window as our third graders, which is next month. So really, I want to talk tonight about the benefits of doing that for our kids, as well as for our school. So here on the front, it does give you some statistics of why to do that. The IRE3 is built as an early indicator assessment to make sure all students have foundational reading skills and phonics, reading awareness, and comprehension. And really, we want our second grade students to have those skills before they go to third grade. That's when the transition from where students are learning to read to where they start to read to learn. So, they have a social studies class, they've got to be able to read that textbook in order to learn the material. So if they don't have those foundational skills, that becomes a lot more difficult at that age level. So by testing them in second grade, should a student pass the test, they do not have to take it in third grade. So it is really a very low stakes way for them to participate in the IRE3. Last year, you'll see here too a statistic across the state, 44% of second graders who took it passed it. So almost half of those students then have that proficiency level as they go on to third grade, and the teachers get that data. On the back, where the blue and yellow boxes are, the scores are a little different than what we'll see in third grade. A 446 is still a passing score, but instead of a not pass, if you get a 445 or below, there are two new categories. One being the on track category. So you'll see here that students who get a 405 to a 445 are deemed on track, that if they continue to make the progress they're making, they should pass IRE 3 in 3rd grade. The second indicator there would be for the 404 down to that low score of 200. Those students would be deemed at risk. So again, it's just a good indicator for our families and for our teachers that these are students that we really have some holes we need to fill. And that gives us kind of that year warning to do that we're not getting right now. So again, all of our students are uploaded into TIDE, into our testing system. Parents have this information in their hands, and we were able to meet with them this week. So we're really excited to see what this opportunity does for our students.
Thank you.
And that moves us on to the high school report.
I'm going to take care of our report tonight. This is, I don't know how many years it's been, but for several years now, we've administered the SAT here on our campus as part of SAT School Day. It's now a requirement that all Indiana high schools do that. We were doing that before it was a requirement, so that's March 1st. For our juniors, they'll be taking the SAT here with our guidance department. I want to wish, obviously, our boys good luck tomorrow with the opportunity to win the WRC outright with a victory versus North Vermilion. We've been in homecoming week this week. I know our girls are going to talk a little bit about some more of our athletics. Mrs. Dottie Pettit's our student council advisor, and she's done a great job of tapping into the students and getting ideas from them to make things unique, kind of hold on to our traditions and kind of give things a spin. And our building right now is crazy and a good kind of crazy. We have got a lot going on. Our students have decorated our halls. The building is just alive. There's just a lot of life going on right now. And one of the things that I'm most proud about is we've gotten a ton of students involved, but like our teachers have tapped in to that energy and that excitement and really kept their focus and kept our students focused on what they need to do for those 45 minutes during the classroom periods. They've done a great job of taking the excitement and turning it into learning for our students. So while everything's been nuts, everything's been crazy, we've still been focused on what we need to do. I'm gonna let our girls talk about this guy here in a minute, but one of the cooler things that we've done in our building since I've been here, and it's something that I haven't seen in education, is we ran a Teacher for a Day program. Our guidance director, Mrs. Foxworthy, put that together as part of a grant that we achieved. And her goal for that and the idea behind that was to take our students who are pursuing a career in education or maybe thinking about it or maybe just want to see what it's like, to give us opportunity to grow our pipeline here. We've talked about that in these meetings before, just trying to push the people in our community into education so they come back and give back to us. Next month, I'll spotlight for the March meeting. Part of that will include some pictures and whatnot from that event. But it was absolutely moving to just see our kids and the pictures that we got back from the elementary school, from PE classes, from the high school. We had students teaching upper level math all the way down to the knee highs in Mrs. Morgan's building. And it was awesome. And for me, we had the list of students who were involved in that. But when you saw the pictures and then just like thinking back, looking at the kids who were in the classroom and thinking where they were 3 or 4 years ago, we had some that you really didn't expect. You wouldn't have imagined that they would have participated in that. And they did it, and it was a great event. Really a one-of-a-kind thing for me. I haven't seen anything pulled off like that. Kudos to Mrs. Fox.
How many did you have?
Ooh, I'd have to.
Guesstimation, just give me a ballpark.
Yeah.
20 some?
Mid-20s.
Yeah, and then we had to reschedule it due to the weather. Went off without a hitch. We've had so much going on in our building, so we're ready for that 3-day weekend. Looking forward to tomorrow night. Go us forward. Hopefully we can have a celebration with our homecoming dance following the game, and then get some rest and get back on next week. Our building is outstanding right now. It's been a lot of fun to be a part of, especially the last month or two.
Yay. Okay, so that leads us to the student report.
All the girl winter sports have come to an end and spring sports are beginning. And our boys wrestling has also come to an end with great accomplishments from Waylon Frazee, who won sectional and advanced to regionals, along with Andrew Woodrow, Dallas Simmons, Brandon Pigg, and Eli Thompson. Waylon Frazee and Brandon Pigg also advanced to semi-state. And the boys basketball had a big win against Covington 2 weeks ago.
It seemed like 2 years ago.
Yes.
But yeah, it was like 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Mr. Shavy did a great job raising the school spirit and getting all the students to attend the basketball game, giving free admissions to students 8 through 12, and awarding the first 100 students a free t-shirt. Boys basketball are 17-4 in the season, and hopefully we get a win tomorrow night. And then the boys swimming, the boys are currently at sectional prelims, and on Saturday will participate in the finals. Chase Witzman remains undefeated throughout the season, and hopefully finals go well for him. He has a really good chance at making it to state.
As Mr. Shavy said, our homecoming is going to be tomorrow, and after the game, a dance will be hosted, and he'll actually be our DJ. So we're all really looking forward to that. We're excited.
How about?
We don't know, we'll get fun with it, and we'll all have a great time. FFA week is actually going to be held next week, and we're going to have dress-up days. So Monday, obviously, we don't have any school. Tuesday is going to be Camo Day. Wednesday is Western Day. Thursday is Blue and Gold / official dress day. And Friday is Flannel Day and Drive Your Tractor to School Day. And we always have a good handful of people who participate in that, so that's fun to see. And our leadership contest and a couple other contests are only 3-ish weeks away from actually going to their contests, so good luck to all of them. Academic Super Bowl as well is really getting started, and yeah, so everybody's really excited. There's a lot of stuff coming up.
Yeah. Thank you, girls. Okay. Our spotlight this evening is Judy Hendricks from the Wabash Valley Education Center.
Hi, good evening. Thanks for having me here. I am a former superintendent at Western Boone Schools, so I'm very well familiar with all of you guys over here. And it's so, I haven't been to a board meeting. I left being superintendent 6 years ago. So, and I've had plenty of board meetings over my time. So, but now I've had this break, so coming back and listening to what all of you are doing is just awesome. And I have to say, you guys look awfully young to be leading the school. I think that says something about me, though, rather than you guys. So, but how fun, I love just the excitement and hearing what you guys are doing for the kids. So keep up the good work because I know it's grooming. So after I left Western Boone as superintendent after 20 years, I thought I still want to do something in education. So I was offered the job as executive director at Wabash Valley Education Center. And so Dr. Grimes is on my board. The board has 7 members and they're all superintendents from throughout the state. And I have a little presentation here. I won't take your time because I know what board meetings are like. When you get out there quickly, it's always nice. But here's a handout. I hope you principals know about Wabash Valley, and some teachers come to you saying that they would like to attend some of our services. So this shows back in 1965, legislation created 9 service centers. Here we are, we're Service Center 5. And so we actually funded the service centers, and we have a building that sits right behind West Lafayette Elementary School, and we hold many of our workshops there. So back in the day when it was formed, it was because of paper. We shared the cost of paper, all the districts that we served, and also 9mm film. So I don't know if you guys remember back in the day. I hate to say this, but I do remember being in elementary school and getting my carton of milk and watching the 9mm film. Those all came from these service centers. That's why they were formed. So each district didn't have to buy all those films. They shared them. They had a driver that would take them, and you get them out of the bag and you had to return them on time. Well, since that time, things have changed. Technology took over, and they started focusing more on helping schools get technology and also professional development around technology. In 2008, the state quit funding the service centers. So we continued with ADM. That means all of the districts that we have, the number of students that you have, you pay into us. That helps support all the centers in the state. And then we had to find another way to fund our budget. which is 700,000. ADM pays 300,000. So we had to become entrepreneurial and figure out what we're going to do now to keep our centers open, which was a lot of fun. Like I said, we're located in West Lafayette. They are our LEA, so they do all of our accounting. We serve 17 counties, 40 school districts. Last year, we had 1,658 teachers come through. Currently, at this point, we have 1,972 teachers who have participated in our professional development. So we're working really hard at meeting the needs of all of our districts. And then as a state, we get a lot of state participation of other teachers that come, especially now because we are virtual. So we have currently just over 3,000 teachers who've attended and administrators, or that was last year, and already this year we have over 3,400. I'm the 5th executive director in the 55-year history, and we have 8 employees at our center. And you can see there, we just serve everything that we do that districts need. This is our team. We got to hire 2 new people last year. They didn't make the picture. I didn't throw our little spotlight circles of them in there. So that's who we are. Here's what we do. We offer cooperative services, so food service, we have an insurance trust, technology, there's a statewide bus bid. But really what we do mostly is professional development for teachers. And we reach out and say, hey guys, what do you need? You need SOR training, right? That's the big thing. Or, SAT prep or iLearn or STEM education, whatever. We have a whole plethora. If you hop on our website, you would see that. We hired a person 2 years ago, and she goes in and does a lot of on-site training. So if you have like your assistants in the elementary that need some whatever training that you'd like to have them, she goes in and does that. We have another person that goes in and does math training also. We do curriculum audits, technology audits, strategic planning. We have network groups that support the tech directors, media specialists, reading specialists, instructional coaches and counselors. We host superintendent groups, we host we put on conferences. And then I'm really excited to hear about your Be a Teacher Day. That came from a grant that we wrote, and you guys are a part of that. It's a 2-year grant, and it is amazing what a difference this is making, because I wrote these 2 grants last year because all the superintendents, everybody knows there's a teacher shortage, and I'm like, what can we do to help our districts? And, really, it's our job to get this figured out. We are the ones with the teachers sitting in our buildings every day, right? So how can we encourage those students that we have to become those teachers? So 2 different grants allowed us to serve 20 school districts. So you guys are one of the 20, and you're getting actually over $60,000 over the 2 years to help you fund your projects, kids going off to teacher education. You get money back, they get scholarship, all kinds of ways just to encourage kids to be teachers. So thank you for working through that. This is our large classroom space. That's Kevin Dill. He does a wonderful job presenting about student behavior. It gets a little lively in there. They role play like some of these student issues on student behavior, but he's one of our very popular presenters that we bring in. Here's a conference. And we also have a Title III consortium that's to support our English language learners. We serve 118 districts around the state just that come in and get professional development for English language learners, and then that's all free to them if they are part of the consortium. We also have a Title IV consortium. 24 of our 40 districts belong to that. They pay $5,000. They get to send 2 teachers to all of our PD pops and 2 teachers to all of our workshops, conferences, and so forth. And then this is what I really don't want to bring up the word COVID. It's pretty big there because we're so, that's like kind of old stuff. But COVID changed us a lot. And it changed us because we became virtual. So the big thing that's a big hit right now, they're called PD Pops, and they're 45 minutes, 4 to 4:45. And we have different presenters presenting on a lot of different topics. But teachers can just hop on those for 45 minutes and get a lot of ideas to take back to their classroom. They've been very popular. So last year, 84% of our workshops were virtual. That's pretty high. We didn't have that before COVID. These PD Pops, you can see last year, we had 68 and 993 people hopped onto those different PD Pops that we had. We also created STEM field trips this is really neat. Purdue does this for us, but they put these tubs together and the teachers, 4th or 5th grade, they sign up for these. We bring the tubs to them and then virtually there's the Purdue instructors teaching the classroom as they have all their supplies out. They were supposed to come to our center, the students, to do this, but COVID hit, so we thought, let's try virtual, and it's been very successful. So if you have elementary classrooms that would like to be a part of that, it's been really successful. And then many of those PD Pops are recorded so that teachers can register, but then they can watch them on their own time. We purchased streaming equipment, so some of our workshops were streaming, so you don't have to leave. You can, be in your classroom or whatever and watch the workshops. And then we predict next year, we're gonna be doing just the same. I don't think virtual is going away. We have a huge big supporter in Purdue. We have a great partnership with them. We use their Purdue Beck Ag Center. If any of you know where that is, up on 52, it's an awesome facility. There it is, that's the large group. They also support us in our conferences. We have an administrator conference, an early learning conference, special education conference. Become a Teacher Day is one that's being planned for next year that we do with Purdue. Actually, it's this spring, and then High Ability Conference, and then they also help us with STEM too. So, any questions? I tried to get through it as quickly as I could without running out of breath there, but it's great to be here. Thank you for your support. You've probably been a member since 1965, or when these were 65 or 75, I can't remember, whatever was up there on the screen. I'm sure that this district has been a member since then. Of the county, 17 counties that we serve, every school that's in those counties, they're all a member to us. So that's nice. And so we know that who we serve each year, that doesn't change.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
I know that our building administrators do a good job in their weekly building memos to the staff. They highlight the things that are happening in here, encourage our staff to do this. Sometimes, staff, there may be something on site that they want to go to, and we certainly allow that. Some staff use the PD Pops or watch something later in the day, but we certainly try to encourage our staff to do that because there are just so many different topics that, it's not a one-size-fits-all professional development. There's to meet the needs of whatever our staff have. And I'll also say WBEC is very receptive to if there's something they don't offer and we ask about it, then they figure out how to bring that. If not this year, then the following year. They work really hard at doing that. So we appreciate that and thank you again.
Thank you for inviting me. Good luck to you guys.
Okay, we'll move on to our discussion items.
All right, the first thing I want to talk about with you and answer any questions. Twice a year, we have our ADM, which is the student count, and that is how we are funded for our student dollars that pay our education fund. In September, we had 972 students, and the second count day was February 1st, and we had dropped to 964. However, of that, we were down 9 people, but in person, but up 1 in our virtual academy. So, and so in all, we had 8 less total students than the fall, but 4 of those were December graduates in our numbers. So really, it was not a significant drop like often happens. So I wanted to look back and compare that this year to how it compared to last year. Last year, we went from 987 in the fall to 962 in the February count day. So last year, we were down 22 from fall to spring as opposed to 9 this year. And we were also down 3 in the virtual academy last year, so 25 in all. And of those 25, only 3 were graduates, early graduates. So we did not have nearly the decline that we've had in past years, and that was very promising. The other thing I looked at is where we were in February of '22 versus February of '23. In February of '22, we had 962 students. And of those, 22 of those were virtual academy students that we got paid only 85% of the student funding. But this year, we had 964, so we have 2 more than we did a year ago at this time. And only 11 of those are virtual academy students. So not only do we have 2 more students than 1 year ago at this time, also the majority of those students are students that were getting paid at the 100% funding level, which is certainly good news. It's never good news to see your ADM drop from fall to spring. We never want that to happen, but at the same time, this data really shows me that we really are doing a good job of retaining our students, or, we've lost some kids that have moved away, but we're also bringing in a lot of new kids. So that was good news. Some other things, statements I want to share with you. I want to share some information about our transportation department, just to update some things we've talked about. It's been a few months ago now, we amended our bus replacement plan from 2022. Instead of getting 2 buses, we only got 1 bus and a new tank. Well, I want to tell you that the new bus has arrived, and you'll know the new bus because the wheels on it look pretty awesome. They have like new rims on the school buses, so it's like some of our kids are like, oh, it's tricked out. It's still a school bus.
It's got Mac wheels.
I also wanted to let you know that we did that amendment so that we could replace our fuel tank before it was too late, because it was getting towards the end of its lifetime. So we bought a new above ground tank. It has been installed and is fully operational now. So we will be getting the old tank out of the ground in the next couple of weeks. Not only is this a good thing environmentally, it's also a good thing financially for our district, because it just happened to be that I got our insurance renewal form and we pay a rider for an in-ground tank. And when I let them know that we are converting now to the above ground, they're taking that rider off, and it will save the district quite a bit of money each year. The other thing I want to share about the transportation department is, we've struggled as districts everywhere for bus drivers. As you drove down 136, you probably saw the big sign out there trying to get drivers. And I'm happy to say that it appears that we have recruited 3 new bus driver candidates. They will be taking the CDL course in March, and then training with our district to come on as substitutes and use as needed. Hopefully, all of their training will go well, and that will continue, and we'll have some backup drivers. And that certainly, when there are districts across the state and across the country that are going to virtual or changing their schedules because they don't have drivers, we're still getting our kids to school every day. So thank you to Angie and her team in our transportation department. We really appreciate that. Last month, we talked a little bit about all of the grants that we got when we got that $200,000 grant. Mr. Foxworthy asked for me to kind of get an idea of how much money we have brought in grants. So this is not our tax dollars that go to operation or our student ADM count that goes to education count. These are all of the other outside funds that we get that help us to do the great things that we're doing here in Southeast Fountain. And I'm not going to read all of the things, but there's a list of, these are all just grants and outside funding sources that we collect. Now, some of these are things that they're an allocation from the state, such as a Title I grant. But you still have to complete the application. There's still a lot of work that goes into that, or they're not just going to let you have it. And there's a lot of work afterwards to show how you spent it and the reports and things like that. So we have a lot of people here that work on a lot of this stuff to get this funding. But when our treasurer, Cindy, and Lindsay, our curriculum director, and I sat down and tried to make a list and find the funding, we found that within the last 2 years, we have brought in, just from this list, $6,574,408.65. However, that does not include our building and trades had the donations from local community members, and then we're able to keep the profits from that. It doesn't include some of the things, our athletics, such as the tennis pavilion that people are donating towards right now and building, and banners that we sold at our football field that helped pay for some things. All of those fundraiser things that you approve each month. Fine Arts gets a grant each year, and I'm not going to say the name of it because I will massacre it. We got the lighting that you approved that we were putting in as we're doing that. To date, in rebates from that, we have received $108,877.50 just in rebates from the new lighting we've installed. We have an AP tip-in grant that's not included in here because it's like a lot of our staff get all kinds of professional development through that. I know that Mr. Shavy worked really hard bringing Notre Dame in for that grant and that opportunity for our staff. So, you know, right here in front of me, we're talking probably close to 8 million or more worth of extra that we brought into the district so that we can do the things that we do for our students and staff, and it's not coming out of taxpayer dollars. So we're very happy to share that. I do want to mention that National SRO Day was February 15th, so just yesterday. We are very fortunate to have 2 SROs this year. So I just want to say how much we appreciate Scott Rainey and Dan Sowers, our 2 SROs. They're doing a great job. And, you know, just in a meeting earlier this week, that was expressed by our building administrators too, how much they appreciate these officers are with kids, they're patrolling our buildings, they're just always seen, and it makes a big difference in keeping us safe. So we're very appreciative of that. And then the last thing, I just want to again thank our staff for what they're doing. You know, Mr. Shavy talked about how the weeks are kind of blending together because we've had a lot of things going on. We're building that pride in the district from students, community. You know, that Covington game was just, to see so many people out here, it was fantastic. And, you know, I couldn't be more proud to lead this district. You know, it's such an honor. I know tonight you voted again, you had already approved my contract, but you had to make an amendment on it again. Thank you very much. I appreciate working with each of you and with this team here. So, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Grimes.
Statements and concerns of the board.
I attended a swim meet the other night, and I noticed the people working at it. Robin Shoemaker, Gary McGrady, Lisa Hoagland was kind of running that whole thing, and I realized about halfway through, they don't have any kids in it. So that's really great for us to have that kind of support for our athletics. For those people still, I mean, they did have kids in it. I know they've been doing it for a long time, but I just looked up and think, man, they're here on their own free will, no kids, no grandkids. They're just out here doing it. So I want to thank them for that, because it takes people like that in our community to make everything work. Congratulations to Pig and Frazee for making it to that wrestling meet. That's not something that every kid gets to go to and wrestle at, and that's a huge thing. So I know that was exciting for them. And then Chase Witzman going undefeated. I know we probably have over the years, but it's been a long time since we've had somebody go undefeated all season, right?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I know
Probably back in like the Jay Rice days.
Sam Rice did get to state. I'm not sure if he ran the table like that. And we're going to highlight Chase tomorrow as part of our pep session too. But his run has been outstanding. He's a great kid.
Yes. Thanks to the staff at the high school, especially for making those games that we talked about something special again. That was probably the most fun basketball game I've been to in years, that Covington game. Just the excitement and the crowd and your wall, your shoulder to shoulder, and everybody's there, and everybody was excited and yelling, and it was a good game. But yeah, that was fun.
It's still being talked about.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm out in the community every day, and yesterday there was a conversation about it I had with people. Just it's still a buzz. So,
and the following game, the Southmont game, was also pretty packed and exciting. Not such a close game, thankfully, but it was still an exciting game to watch. And we wish, I know, speaking for all the board and all the staff, we really want those boys to win Friday night and win that outright conference, so we don't have to worry about somebody else getting beat, that kind of thing. That team has played well this year. Looking forward to that. And then, to the SROs, I think it's not just about the safety of the school, but how they're reacting with our kids. Heard a lot of great things about both of them, about the kids being, having relationships with those guys and communicating with them, and maybe, telling them things that they won't tell everybody else. Helping those kids out with that it's huge, and we're so glad to have two. We've been working for that for a while, and I'm so glad that we have two here to take care of our district. It's, I'm like Dr. Grimes. I'm from here. I went here. I've lived here my whole life. I've coached here. My kids went here. I got grandkids here. But man, I'm really proud to be in this school district. I think we're going the right direction. So I thank all of you for that. Didn't mean to ramble on. Sorry.
and I would just say the same. I mean, I think I can't remember the last time school spirit is at the level that it's at right now. So commend you guys for everything you're doing. It's really exciting to be a Mustang right now.
And we talked about that 3 years ago, about how we felt like that's where we needed to be. And it's really exciting to see it get here.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay. I think we're ready for document signing, which we have taken care of. So that puts us to the adjournment.
Motion?
Second. All in favor? Motion carried.